Alright, so how y'all doing boys? Hope you're doing well now. In today's video, once again, of course, using the ELAINE in today's showcase and using alongside this team here. Now, we are pretty much going to be sticking to the same kind of format. I would really like to replace this king with the OG king, especially since he's recently gotten his Holy Relic, but I'm a little short on Holy Relic materials, so we're going to have to wait for that one. But in the meantime, this will 100% suffice, using them alongside the Christmas Awakened LILLIA, who has, I mean, by far become one of the best PvP units in the game. This Holy Relic basically makes the character, increases the hero's basic stats by 10% for every debuff effect on the enemy. So that combined with like a Kyo or some of these characters that can kind of like produce debuffs through their passives. I mean, don't get me wrong, even if you don't use one, she does also have the dissolve effect as her AoE, which can be very, very helpful. But she is absolutely insane. And combined with the fact that this ELAINE's Holy Relic and some other parts of her kit allow it to provide debuffs to the team, she becomes very, very strong. If you guys don't know what the ELAINE does, this first card here inflicts damage equal to 250% of attack on all enemies, disables buff and debuff skills for 2 turns. The second card increases HP related stats of all allies by 15% for 3 turns, and when attacked instantly recovers 40% of damage taken. The ultimate inflicts damage equal to 420% of attack on all enemies and releases 100%. The passive here at the beginning of ally's turn applies flower petals of the sacred tree to all enemies for 1 turn. Enemies with this effect take 30% more damage and are affected by a shock for 1 turn when attacked by fairy heroes. And last but not least, the Holy Relic increase all enemies' damage taken by 30% whilst they have the shock debuff from a passive. So very nice there. Looking at the gear here, we are rocking the HP defense set. Nothing too crazy, just a random side to make her for the fact of these showcases, and cosmetics aren't too great either. But yeah, once again, this is the team we're using today, and let's jump right into it. Here we go, first opponent, a trader melee team. Okay, like, yeah, I feel like, I mean, the synergy between her and King is just so great in itself. Actually, with this here, this is the kind of setup we want to start off with. Let's go 1, and let's just go 2 and 3. It's at the point where like we don't even really need the extra power of the LILLIA single target, but we still have it, so why not just go ahead and use it? I feel like we'll actually be able to get rid of everyone in this first turn. Oh, I was hoping that'd be able to kill Kyo as well. Damn, well, I mean, we actually would have been a whole lot better using the AoE card from LILLIA and getting the both of them, but I mean, you can see what I mean, right? This team is so absurdly powerful. The King can't get pushed too much further. I mean, he has pretty much 15% rolls and all his cosmetics are maxed out, but like, I don't know, there is still quite a bit of growth for the Serial Association to do on him. Rolls aren't like super good, and there are still a couple of cosmetics to max out. So, I mean, I feel like in itself, if we had King like completely maxed out, like utterly to the brim, you could get to the point where like he would just one turn there. That's absolutely crazy to think. Let's see, let's go 1, 2, and 3, and that pretty much wraps it up. Like, if you can get card draw like that, where you're just drawing in power strike cards, you're drawing in the LILLIA single target cards, you're gonna be fine. Granted, this single target is gonna be super strong because there's only the 2 debuffs. But I mean, hey, still 140,000 damage. Like, that's not a bad card, that's for sure. But yeah, I was super bummed out because I was grinding buff DC for, you know, building my characters up and whatnot. And I was building Holy Relics, and I built one for the OG Skinny King, the one that you get through the story, and didn't even think about the fact that he actually takes the... Ooh, I think I might actually go ahead and hold on to one of these. Who do I want to go for? I might try and actually get rid of Terry in this first turn, but yeah, no, I was going building Holy Relics, and I built one for the OG Skinny King, who of course takes the dear materials, and I didn't even think about the fact that, you know, I'd want to build ELAINE's and King's. I just had ELAINE set in mind, and you know, updates turn around, and I have enough like of the main material to do King, but still missing some of those like the purple rocks, so yeah, I'm gonna have to grind a couple of those up, which is, you know, the main reason we've been seeing all of the new Festival King showcases. The second I get that grinded up, I will of course, you know, get the OG Kings done. A couple showcases with him with the fun party or just like the regular Ozzo and Hawk, which I'm very excited to use. Haven't used those units in absolutely ages, it feels, and good to actually be able to get a little bit more use out of them. Let's see, I feel like we can definitely get rid of Terry here at least. Doing this as well, maximize card draw. Like, I know I'm going to use like a crazy amount of ELAINE cards, but I mean, the passive and the Holy Relic just like applies so much for King, and it's also doing so much for LILLIA as well. She's kind of just acting as like a Kyo. Like, Kyo's cards aren't the greatest either, but the passive is what they're mainly here for. And like, don't get me wrong, ELAINE's cards are still good, especially going up against like Margaret teams. It's very helpful, and like the recovery card, although I do feel like at level 3 it would just be absolutely absurd, there aren't really many teams where you can use her alongside Gotha, so unless your card draw is just like absolutely ridiculous how lucky you get, you're not really going to be using it most of the time. Let's see here though. Yeah, Barn card will definitely break the Never mind. Okay, Barn card won't break the shield. Fortunately for us, we had enough, or we drew an extra king card to get the shield up. See, I might just go for this here. Get the Elaine up. Not like we're really like focusing on using it. The king ultimate is the main thing we want. Him not having the nameless dance up as well means we can throw into that there. Get the king ultimate. And I feel like at that point you're pretty good. I do definitely want to run like a kind of ult rush setting with this team. I don't know who I'll use when it comes to tank. I'll probably end up just using the DN, most likely. Her and King, I feel like work really, really well together. But yeah, like I don't really see like any reason to use like, you know, Excalibur Arthur, and there's obviously no like really good tank. Actually, no. For some reason I was thinking Droll as fairy unit. There is no like pretty much tanking fairy units, so there's that as well. Yeah, look at that, tanking with the shield. I mean, at that point, there's not much he... I feel like even if he went full send on King without any Barn, like attack cards, there isn't anything he could do. It puts extra debuffs on him if we attack with. Let's go for... That attacks all enemies? Correct, yeah. 1, 2, and 3, and that should pretty much wrap that one up. I doubt this will kill. I really hope this doesn't kill Barn. Actually, I think this is the first time I've seen the Elaine ultimate in a showcase as well, which is really nice. I believe in yesterday's showcase, I did go to use the ultimate, but at that point I'd already like finished that match, but let's see. Nice 1.3 from King there. That is some juicy damage. And I'm actually super glad that they gave us a good Elaine, because like, I mean, don't get me wrong, I didn't really like, the initial Elaine that came out, the green one, wasn't really meant for PvP at the time, like, and at that point as well, like, she released entirely for the sole purpose of the final boss, which was the Escanor final boss, I believe, at the time. So like, unless you're a whale, no one was really building out like units, especially like that, for PvP showcases. And then Goldwing's Elaine as well. I can't even think of when. I don't think when she came out. Oh damn, real unfortunate that we couldn't kill her in that first turn. But yeah, when the Goldwing's Elaine came out, I don't think she was. I honestly haven't even used the unit in PvP because once again didn't spend money at the time. That merger there was ooh. Yeah, because if you get card draw like that, there's not much your opponent can do. But yeah, no, I just never really used Goldwing's Elaine. I don't think I've even seen a Goldwing's Elaine in PvP. This is like the original Goldwing's Elaine, of course. I know this one is one as well, but... Okay, let's see. We should be able to finish pretty much everyone off here. Him not using the stance card and Arthur's pretty much killed him. Let's see. I mean, don't get me wrong, this first card does a little bit of damage, but once you throw out that first card, King gets the buff from his shield, and you apply the shock effect so the fairies can do more damage. Like, look at that. 400,000 on just like 2 opponents, and it's the Barn team. Like, you're never doing crazy amounts of damage to the Barn team, and just shy of killing it once again, damn. I mean, most of the time I use her, she is on the attack crit set, which, don't get me wrong, does a little bit more damage than HP defense, especially with the fact that, you know, you're replacing the crit for defense, but the CC always helps out, that's for sure. And I don't even feel like she ends up critting with the single targets most of the time anyway. I actually haven't even had a look at her crit, or like her crit chance in quite a while, so actually might have a quick look at that now. Okay, oh, you can't even bring it up in this option, can you? That's whatever. I mean, going for this here, unless he has like evasion food or something, getting rid of Melee turn 1 is way too helpful. Not even for the fact that like Meliodas isn't there himself, but the second part of his passive is just the fact that a unit like that can help out your whole team so much is absolutely broken. There's no reason not to use him in Deer, there's no reason not to use him in Bird, there's no reason not to use him in PvP half the time as well, like, unless you're running very specific builds. I mean, just chuck them in on any team at this point. Oh, Goddesses as well, not the biggest fan of. I do feel like we could definitely... I mean, the debuff doesn't even have to be on the enemy, does it? I think it's just more debuffs on the enemy team, so we could probably go for like a... Check out the Dissolve card, go for like a level 1 on Gotha. Hope that kills, and then go for the level 2 on Escanor. Finish him off there. You know, I'm still so happy with how this LILLIA works. Would... At this point, I don't know. The JP version recently got their Holy Relic for like the Purgatory Barn. They released... No, sorry, not Purgatory Barn. For the Ragnarok Barn and whatnot. So like, I know the meta could be shifting a little bit there, using like him as like a backline support and like having like real just like DPS heavy teams, especially with the fact Ludo also got his Holy Relic. You know, you can actually get a little bit more effectiveness out of him as well. I believe he's like top 5 CCs in the game again. So that's real nice. Cannot wait for that to happen on the global version. But yeah, no, I still feel like the kind of like, what's the word I'm looking for? Christmas LILLIA, like Keo and like whoever you want to use as third unit, whether that's Meliodas or whether that's like a Excalibur Arthur with Holy Relic, any kind of setup like that, I feel would probably still be the best team in the game. other than that, I know people really like the Valentine's Day Moleskula Meliodas teams. Those as well, really, really strong. Obviously, just like full countering any team with Ki on it is very, very helpful. I mean, not every debuff team, obviously, because, you know, it only disables the ignites, but her passive as well, like the lifesteal part of it, is still very, very effective. This match is going to get so drawn out with the shields. I just cannot imagine to think what it's like using Goddess Liz in your team. Actually, maybe we break the shield with this first one. We can get the shock effect off. Does the shock effect actually apply if I don't hit them? I don't think it does. Yeah, okay. We'll keep that on mind. Let's get on to the next opponent. And onto our final opponent, and geez, we've been facing a whole ton of barn teams in today's video, but don't get me wrong, I would not incentivize summoning for the Elaine whatsoever. I mean, I wouldn't say she's a bad unit by any means, and like, I do reckon they gave her quite a good Holy Relic, especially for the teams that she can be built on, and who knows, if we get like another really strong fairy character as the next release, we could see the fairy team be better, and like, you know, that whole thing I just said about, you know, not summoning for Elaine could be an absolutely terrible idea, but I know at this point in time, like with the fact that we know collaborations just around the corner, and you know, the next festival we get is like 95% going to be a light type festival, since, you know, we haven't had one yet. There was a pretty good chance that we weren't going to get one. I mean, it was destined to get like that we were going to have a festival at the end. Eventually, it would pretty much had all the sins, and she was just the only one left out. But I don't know, I do definitely like the fact that we got her before we got like a light type Elizabeth or a light type Mael. Let's see, if you got Holy Relic, you do. If I can kill you in this turn, that'd be great, but if I can't, that's going to be even more disappointing. But yeah, no, 95% chance we're going to get a light type festival as our next one. I don't know, the Gan's good. If you guys did summon for her, I hope you've been really enjoying it. I hope you also had better. I swear that procced at the end of the turn, doesn't it? Oh well, that's alright. At least we got the Holy Relic effect out of the way, that's for sure. But yeah, no, if you guys haven't summoned Elaine, please do not do so. If you guys saw my summon video, that was a painful 600 gems to get through, that's for sure. Didn't buy any of the tickets, and it was just, over like the whole 600 gems, I think not including like the guaranteed units, I think I've got 4 SSRs over the 600, which is absolutely crazy to think. Let's see, can I mean, who do I want to go for? I think I might just chuck out this in all honesty. I know we can't like rush the ultimates or anything, but kind of just wanted to get some more cards out of my hand. Actually, maybe rushing the ultimates would have been the best idea. But at the same time, I did really want to get out that card there so that Barn can't get his in the next turn. I was really banking on that killing as well. 212,000 though, jeez. Was that a 2-star? Because if that was a 1-star, I'm even more blown away. Yeah, oh look, they even managed to patience there. Unnecessary. Let's see, how Crush the card once again. Absolutely tearing through the shield. I wonder when the next time we'll have another human meta is, and if by the time that meta comes around, will Barn still be like, I doubt he'll still be like the #1 unit for the team, but like, will he still be like a frontline unit at that point in time, or will it be like, I don't know, definitely keen to see, because the gift card is just so strong in general. The increase to the max HP, the whole recovery it gives you, everything like that. Like, he still has some very strong cards, and the Heart Crusher card as well is very, very good. His ultimate just one-tapping teams. I feel like he's strong enough to like, by that time, he will still be like frontline support for that team. I mean, even once again, backline support, he is still fairly good. Having the Holy Relic coming to the front with at least 1 proc of that Holy Relic, the 15% max increase for every ally dead. I could see Purgatory Barn sticking around for quite a while. Let's see, though, we'll go ahead and throw these out here, and that'll pretty much do it. What do we reckon? Can we hit like a nice 800,000 on 2 units? 700. That's alright, didn't get any crits. And there we go, that just about does it for today's video. Honestly, really enjoyed using the Christmas Awaken LILLIA alongside this team here. I do really wish I could use this team alongside the OG Fest King with the Holy Relic, but hopefully within the next day or two, or hopefully not tomorrow's vid, but the video after, we will be able to run. I'll have the materials grind. Just grinding through a deer when you're not getting like the first time clear rewards to me seems like such a hassle. It is just so much of a grind and such an RNG fest. That second stage is just so RNG dependent. We're not going to get into that though. That just about does it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Please hit the like button, subscribe. Really means a lot to me, and I'll see you guys for some more Grand Cross content.